what we're going to do, let's go for one that we know the answer anyway. So we know that 0.3 recurring can be expressed as a fraction as 1/3. We know those two things are exactly the same. Right, they mean the same thing, they have the same value. So we want to know whether we can use our methods that we tried to use. We looked at this one last time. Look, we had all of that. All right, but we're going to try and use that, but just for one that we know what the answer is. So I'm going to start. I'm not going to use the letter X this time. I'm going to use the letter F, F for fraction. And F is 0.3, and I'm going to write it as its decimal form, just so we can see what's going on. Okay, so an F is the same as 0.3 recurring, 1F. All right. Does anyone know what the next step needs to be?
You multiply it by 2 different powers of 10.
Well, in this case, I don't actually need to, but I'm going to go with what you say. I'm going to multiply it by a power of 10. All right. So this is where we either think, how am I applying something I just try and remember, or am I applying something I understand? So I am going to multiply it by a power of 10. Which one could we go for? What would you go? Just do 10. All right. I'm going to multiply F by 10. So I'm going to have 10 F's. Yeah. What if 1F is 0.3? What's 10 F's? 3.3. 3. And what do you notice about the threes that I said was really important? Desmond? They're all lined up. And why is this one easier than the other one? It's always going to be lined up, isn't it? It's impossible to get this one not lined up. So actually, I don't need, in this case, to multiply it again. All right? So I now know that 10 F's are 3.333. 1F is 0.333. So just for convention, I'm going to write the 1F underneath, because what am I going to do next? Cameron? I'm going to subtract the 2 with the intention of eliminating the
decimal.
The recurring decimal bit. So 10 F's subtract 1F is 9 F's. And 3.333 subtract 0.333 is 3. So if 9 F's are equal to 3, well, now we go back to our stuff that we've done before on solving algebraic equations. So what will I do to figure out what 1F is again? Go on.
9 divided by 3. Divide by... Wait.
You know what to do. You've just done it. You've said it the wrong way around.
Oh.
Divide by 9, yeah? If 9 F's equal 3, I've got to do the 3 divided by 9. So I'm going to divide both sides by 9, and I get 1F equals 3 divided by 9, which is a fraction. It's a ratio. It's a division. If I do 3 divided by 9, this is where some people make the mistake, and they reach for their calculator and go, oh, I'm going to do 3 divided by 9, and then they get 0.333, and they go, oh, what do I do now? I'm back to where I started. Well, you shouldn't have done the 3 divided by 9. That's what we're trying to do. Now, of course, we've shown that 0.333 is the same as 3/9, because F and F, they're the same thing. All I've got to do now is show that 3/9 is what I was expecting as 1/3. So we are going to divide by this equivalent fractions, divide top and bottom by 3, and I get 1/3. Okay? Got that? Any questions? Easy enough? No? Okay. Before I move on to the next stage then, you're going to do a couple yourself, and you probably spot a pattern that means you'll find it very, very, very easy for the future. So I'm going to ask you to do 0.7 recurring, and I'm going to ask you to do 0.8 recurring, and I'm going to get you to do 0.12 recurring. See whether you can do those. All right, see whether you can spot a pattern that helps you. Off you go. I'm recording. So, Anaya, do you want to tell me what 0.7 recurring is? 7 ninths. So you notice that 0.3 recurring was initially 3 ninths before we simplified it. 0.7 is 7 ninths. 0.8 is 8 ninths.
And 0.12 is 12 ninths.
This one is actually 12.99.
Oh yeah, 99. Yeah, that's 430.
Which does simplify, okay? But what I'm trying to get to is actually there is a kind of simple way to do it, right? Have we spotted it? Does anyone need to go through why 0.12 becomes 12 over 99? Should I go through it just quickly? Okay, so I'm going to go for D for decimal equals 0.121212 and so on. What do I need to multiply by this time, Desmond? Hundreds. Good. Because I need to line the decimals up. So I have to shift it 2 spaces up. So then 100D becomes 12.121212. So now if I subtract the 2, I'm not going to bother rewriting them this time because you understand we subtract. So we've got 99 Ds equals the 12. So I divide by the 99. So I get 1D is 12 divided by 99. So that's the first stage. We can, of course, simplify, which is 4 divided by 33. But this first step, so we could quite quickly now, if I said to you, I want to know what the fraction for 0.418 recurring is. Satya, would you be able to tell me?
So we do F equals 0.418.
Okay.
And then would you times it by 1,000?
You would. So we do 1,000 F equals. Okay. So I would then. Not yet. Subtract. And I get. So finish us off. What do we do? Yeah. So have you generalised yet? Has anyone generalised what we can do to go straight to the answer without having to do the work?
You could have just done, like, the pattern is you always have to do, like, equal it out at the end. I guess I just figured it out.
Okay, so let me give you another one. So if it was 0.6321 recurring, all right, who could tell me what that would be as a fraction without having to go through the whole process of working? Yeah? No one, the people without the hand up hasn't spotted you would still have to go through the working, no? You know how to do it? Yeah? I think so. Jasmine, how it go? What would you think?
6,221 over 10,000.
Not quite, no.
9,999.
So however many decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's how many nines.
that's how many nines there are.
Mr. Potts? Mr. Potts?
What would you do if I said to you, write the fraction for 1.74 recurring? Have a think. Who thinks they have an answer for me? Jack?
It's 174 over 99.
Okay. So there's an argument there. Right, does anyone have an answer in a different form that they think is quick and easy? What do you think?
It's 1 and 74 over 99.
1 and 74 over 99.
It's doing the same thing, except the 1 doesn't matter. You leave that till the end.
This is where we understand. This is actually, if you think about what numbers are, this is 1.747474, but it's also 1 plus 0.74 recurring. Okay? So the 1 and 74 over 99, I'm agreeing definitely. Do we think this is an issue? Is that correct? Steph, you said it's wrong.
It's 173 over 99 because it would be 74 over 99 plus 99. And
Okay, so if we actually went through the calculation, we'd have
it's not 100.
an f equals 1.74. But then what would I need to multiply by? 100. So I would have 100 f's equal 174.74 recurring. When I do my subtraction, I get 99 f's, but I only get 173 because I've not got a 0 here, have I? I've now got a 1. So it would actually be 173 over 99. So this one, perfectly good. You could then convert that into an improper fraction if you wanted to, yeah? By doing, well, what's 1? That would be 99 over 99.
If it was
Add the 74 makes the 173.
If it was over 100, it would be 174. But
Yes.
since it's not, it's use minus 1.
Exactly, yeah, the recurring decimal value. Okay, so what would you tell me the answer then if I said 3.149 recurring as a fraction? Julena?
3 and 149 over 999.
Or 3 and
No.
1.
No, 99 over 99.
No, it's over 99 and it's
Touch it.
Would it be like 3 and then 148 over 99? No, 148 over 99.
It's, you got it correct.
I think you're right, aren't you? Because this is 3 plus 0.149 recurring. And what did we say? 3 decimal places? 3 nines.
Okay.
So in this form, you're right. If we write it as an improper fraction,
1,300.
we'd have to do, how many 999s make 3?
Oh,
Whole ones.
Oh.
big number.
So it'd be 2,997. It's actually quite easy, no? 3 lots of 1,000, take away 3,
Oh,
over 999. And then plus 149 over 999 gives me
3,146.
over. Okay, so that'd be that other form. All right, so that was the next stage up. Let's go back to without the whole part, unless you've got a question on that, anyone? No? Let's go back to one like we were just
I actually
doing.
have a question.
On this, okay?
Why do we have to put it into an improper fraction? Why
You
can't
don't.
we just leave it into a mixed number?
I didn't say you had to, it's an option.
That makes life a lot easier.
So the next phase then is to be able to do this. what if my I'm going to go back to an x, is this instead? 0.15 recurring. Have a think. So the difference here is, this number is, if I get rid of the dot, it is, the 5 is recurring, the 1 is not recurring. Okay, so we have got to do something a bit different, which is,
You have to first multiply it by 10 and then 100.
okay, so we must have what only in the decimal places?
Recurring numbers.
The recurring numbers. There, we can't have anything else in the decimal places, otherwise that messes up the whole thing. Okay, so we have to have two numbers related to x in this case that have only the recurring bit in the decimal places. So that means I am going to do 10 x's because that gives me 1.5555. Yeah, you okay with that?
Yes.
I'm then going to go for another one and I'm going to say 100 x's is 15.555. So now I've got, like I had before, only what I don't want to use is the 1x bit in my calculations. So now I am going to just do the subtraction there.
Oh, minus.
100x minus 10x this time, not the 1x.
90x.
So now it's 90x's equals
14.
14.
No, we didn't.
No, but he's
Split
just,
the
he's
rock.
just,
Yeah.
he's just not
I know.
writing everything.
So that leaves me with 1x equals 14 over 90, which can be simplified. 7.5. Happy with, but can you see the difference then? So when there is a number that is not recurring, it's not just nines in the denominator. So have a go, the same idea. So if I give you f equals 0.024 recurring.
So just before him.
Oh,
Just the 4 recurring. See whether you can apply the same sort of thing, but give me that.
Okay.
Okay? So this one again. The first thing we multiply by is 100. So I'm going to multiply by 100 first. So 100 f's would give me 2.444. Okay. Next one then. I need 1,000 f. That's going to be, okay. I then subtract 900 f equals 22. So 1f equals 22 over 900, which is simplifiable.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, come on.
But, okay, you are now at a stage where you should be able to write any rational number as a fraction. So just to go back to other cases, just so you don't get confused, what is 0.3 as a fraction? No, fell for it.
310.
3/10.
It's not
What is 0.158 as a fraction? 158 over 1,000. What is 1.06 as a fraction?
Ooh, that's where it gets a bit confidential.
It's 1 and 600.
1 and 600.
Or 106 over 100.
Or 106 over 100, not 1,000. What is 0.9 recurring as a fraction?
1. 1 and
One.
0.9. Went out.
It could be one because it's a 9.
1 and 9.
If
It's just
it's
1.
0.9